You know, with summer drawing closer, there's so many things I want to do. Places I want to see, you know? Could be like a great falls, off in a great canyon somewhere, or maybe I want to go to an abandoned city, maybe lurked in the forest. I don't know. Either way though, that is the case of today's video. Hey everyone, what is up and welcome to Xenoblade Chronicles News Drops. And the topic of today's video is location, location, location. What does it mean? Where are they? And what can we do there? Well, let's get to that right now, courtesy of Nintendo of Europe. And we have not one, but two new locations to look at, and we have a lot of screenshot goodies to indulge in. So let's not waste any time. First one is, again, the Great Cotte Falls. Cotte? It's got many names, both in English and Japanese translations, but we'll get to that when we do. Either way, it is a great place for a swim and features a giant waterfall that's just begging to be jumped off. Cannonball! Yeah, so the description on this one is pretty Western. You never see the term cannonball in Japanese text, but you know, that's neither here or there. Now, for one thing, we get a distant fingertip pointing upwards, or that could be the Maktha's sword. Either way, it only goes up from here. We do have a certain Titan here, and again, we do get context on what that is in later the screenshots. This is a mixed match of a lot of places, I feel. I'm seeing bits of the Bionic Shoulder in here. I'm seeing bits of Guar Plains. Primordia. Maktha Falls. And it's just taking inspiration from a lot of places. And, of course, we see a big Titan walking around, as well as a plane with a lot of collectibles on the prowl.
I don't think that's a Titan. I think that's just like a base or something.
Base, Titan, well, it's bigger than your average HOMS, shall we say.
Yeah.
So, to them, it might be a Titan, but that's besides the point. As we spoke about in our previous locations video, it definitely does seem that they are doubling down on collectible placements. So hopefully it makes side quests or grinding for whatever we need to be a little bit easier.
I thought that flower there was a blue Nopon when I first looked at it.
Which one?
On the bottom right.
This here?
Yeah, I thought it was a little Nopon.
I think that could be a flower or it could be a flammy. Either way, it does seem to be quite open space and a good place to explore, so I am all about that. Next screenshot, it might honestly be a continuation from this screenshot, or maybe not, we'll have to see. Either way, its motif in the description is pretty accurate. We see a bunch of waterfalls, and if it's any JRPG that I know, there could be secrets either on top or behind waterfalls.
And X-like flower enemies, possibly.
Are they gonna ambush us? Are they gonna make an annoying sound like... Who knows? I'm not doing that again on the video. So, even in just these two screenshots alone, we get a lot to explore on a surface level. Next one is where things get a little bit more intriguing. Again, we have the same outlook of what you have is Primordia, Bionic Shoulder, just barely an open plain. However, we do have the looks of what appears to be abandoned buildings. Now this ties into another area that Nintendo has revealed, but still, makes you think. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is, are you able to go inside these buildings and explore? For me, I'm really excited about that concept. Reasons I will explain in due time. Last screenshot for the Great Cotte Falls. Now come on, this is Maktha Forest.
Yeah.
With the plain, with the rainbow, with the gap that leads to a chasm that could have a river below. Who knows? Either way, it's a stunning place to look, and one thing that Monolith has not shown yet is how do these places look at A, nighttime, or B, how they look in the sunsets.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple of people say that these new areas seem kind of ho-hum, like this is not like the inside of Uriah or Satoral Marsh at night. They don't seem impressed by the areas.
Well, here's the thing. If we've seen anything from Monolith in the past, they have been known to make a ho-hum, dull, environment and make it look absolutely stunning with their lighting engine. Whether it's at nighttime or daytime, you never know. Just like story points or visuals, this is probably not the highlight of everything that's in the game. So I'm looking forward to more. And speaking of more, this is what makes me salivate the most. Next one is a new location again, courtesy of Nintendo of Europe, and it goes as follows. This massive forest filled with flora is Maktha Wildwood. The fruits that grow here are famously sublime, so make sure to pick up some sample on your travels. Now, for one thing, people have been wanting forests. For me, I love the way this looks.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks like a widespread jungle mixed with old civilizations. And here's the reason why I'm extremely looking forward to this. We get a mishmash of styles both in architecture and level design, and I'm really looking forward to that. But also, just the amount of levels that this could have. Like, you get to explore a jungle and its levels and its hidden secrets, but you always get to transition to, a desolate ruined environment which has its own levels and own secrets to explore. And you never know the amount of lore that you could find in places like this. Like notes or secrets of abandoned civilizations. And one thing that I love about Xenoblade is its hidden secrets. For example, in the original Xenoblade, the way you get Monado Eater, how you just find random ruins in the jungle, and you get a pretty cool, I'm not going to spoil it, but a pretty cool moment in the game. So it's things like that that make me salivate to play these levels. Just the amount of exploring you can get here.
Definitely reeks of Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, in some ways Kirby and the Forgotten Land almost.
Yeah.
So, again, I just love it. Because there's so many things you could ask, like, what did it used to look like? What made it like this? What remains? I could spend hours in places like this just because of what you could find. And this screenshot confirms a point that I initially was worried about beforehand. Like, it's just going to be both environments together. There's not going to be a time which they're separate environments. But here, of course, you see, it's just grassland. It's just a jungle.
It looks like Frontier Village.
Yeah. And you know what? I love it. If you couldn't tell, I like exploring in JRPGs, so this kind of stuff just makes me excited to play it.
Same here.
Last screenshot, short, simple, but the one thing that I kind of am curious on is it having a campfire. That, for me, it gives kind of significance that this is probably where characters are going to be in the story. So, on top of it being an environmental place to explore, it's also going to have some story beats, not just there.
It's either that or there was a Turken gathering there that they just killed.
Well, either way, I think fun times are going to be had no matter where this game goes.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. This is my favourite environment that we've seen thus far, and I cannot wait to see more in either trailers or when the game inevitably releases. So thank you for that. Now, next one up is kind of same screenshots, however, this comes from the Japanese translation courtesy of Monolith News, and it goes as follows. This is Cotte Great Falls, not Cotte or Cotte. It's Cotte, where a large waterfall flows. You can see the Iron God of Colony Lambda led by Izzard. I can feel a battle coming on. You can even swim in the deep water. So, for one thing, we get context on what this big structure is here. It is actually a colony, and it's one led by Izzard, or Izarugi. I'm sorry, I'm going to call him Izarugi because I am a Japanese simp. But either way, I also feel like the last bit of description is a little bit misleading.
Yeah, a lot of people think that means you're gonna dive in this game.
Yeah, and again, I know it's translations, but still, I can't imagine we'll get to go in underwater exploring, but still, I'd at least like to think there will be swimming in Xenoblade. So there's that. And same thing goes for the Great Forest of Maktha. It is a field where huge plants grow thickly. I hear that fruit is here excellent. It might be a good idea to look for ingredients during your trip. So I'm gonna guess this is food fodder fruit in which you can use for manana, the nopon. So that's all well and good. However, one final thing that we would want to put on this video is paying more attention to the Great Forest of Makuna. Now, two things. Just like the Falls, it's been called two different things depending on the Japanese or the Western releases. Because this one is called Makuna Forest, whereas the Western releases is calling it Maktha.
Maktha.
Now, for those who've played both Xenoblade 1 and 2, on a glance, you should get something from both names. And this is emphasized and kind of explained because the Xenoblade universe are alpha. You can put it as follows: Marusu plus Makuna. Marusu was the original name for Moritha and Makuna for Maktha, so they were already putting off a real fusion, not just in individuals. AKA, and they've combined the first part of Marusu and Makuna.
Or for the English version, Maktha and Moritha, so Maktha. Portmanteaus all over the place.
Maktha for Maktha and F for Moritha. So they are not even trying to hide the fact that these are like combinations of worlds. Now, is it just words of coincidence? Or is it intentional naming by either Monolith? Well, of course it was intentional by Monolith, but intentionally named by the characters in the story? We don't know yet. However, just all comes together. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how it coincides. Are we gonna see ruins and secrets from both worlds? Who knows? But that is gonna be it, unless there's anything else you want to talk about. No, guys, so I gotta ask, what are your thoughts on the new locations that have been presented to us today? Are you excited? Are you ho-hum? Do you have any thoughts and feelings? We'd love to hear it in the comments. And, as always, if you like the video, be sure to like it. It really supports the channel and helps us cover more Xenoblade goodness. And if you want to stay up to date with Xenoblade Chronicles news, whether it be screenshots, trailers, or random tidbits like that, we will cover it. And if you want to stay up to date, then please do subscribe. And we will see you guys next time. I'm going to the beach now.
Yeah, or waterfalls.
Well, why not both? See you then, guys.